70 News Radio. I'm Tom Hewell.
And I'm Margaret Carrero.
KNX News Time, 9:47. The union representing LAX police raising new security concerns this morning. The union claims vehicle checkpoints are being cut back to save money. Joining us now, KNX 1070 aviation expert Charles Feldman.
And on the line with us is Marshall McLean, president of the Los Angeles Airport Peace Officers Association. Good morning, Marshall. You're saying that what used to be a 12-officer position is now 8. So does that really matter?
Well, good morning, Charles. Thanks for having me. It definitely matters because it lowers the number of available bodies, and the number of actual physical checkpoints are also lowering.
But, Tom Hewell and I think we were talking a little bit earlier, we both have been to LAX, and sometimes you go through and you barely see anybody there anyway.
Well, it's more than sometimes. It's a guy just waving people past.
Yeah, there you go.
What does that do?
Right. So, Marshall, you're on.
Well, that has to do with the decreasing of the staffing is why you sometimes don't see them anymore. I know that there's a randomization that's going on, but over the years there's been a decrease in the effort, and that it has to do with money. Prior to this year and current years or previous years, TSA used to reimburse for the vehicle checkpoints as they reimburse for the actual physical checkpoints inside the terminals with the officers. They no longer do that, and because of that, the general manager of the airport wants to cut costs, and that's why you've seen what you've seen.
Well, it's not just the general manager of the airport. It's no secret that the union, the LAX Police Officers Union, you're not all that thrilled with the management of the police department there, right?
That is correct.
So how much is this about that and not really about security for the public?
It's not about who we like. This is about public safety.
Well, let's talk a little bit about public safety, if we could. The AP came out with a report a couple of weeks ago showing that LAX was number 3 in terms of intrusions. That's not people driving into the airport. That's people hopping the fence on the other end of the field. And I'm wondering if maybe a redeployment of officers to patrol those areas might be more effective.
Well, look, I've talked to Charles about this before. Back in 2010 was at our peak. We had 450 officers then. We're barely creeping up, I think, close to 420 again with the passenger loads that have increased over 10 million in the past 5 years. So when you're talking about perimeter security, you're talking about internal security, you still need physical bodies to do that. So there's no reason why, other than cost and pinching pennies and throwing around pennies like they're manhole covers when it comes to public safety. They can spend billions of dollars when it comes to beautifying the airport, but when it comes to the actual physical security part, we always seem to find reasons why that we can't do what we need to do, and then try to turn it into a union issue. And it's not a union issue; it's a public safety issue.
Certainly something that we'll be able to try to keep our eye on. We do appreciate you joining us again. That is Marshall McLean. He is the president of the Los Angeles Airport Peace Officers Association here on KNX. KNX News Time, 9:50.